So learning about the Holocaust growing up from teachers when I visited Poland, I was astounded by the bravery of the Holocaust generation, of the Jews of the time. Not just in fighting back through physical efforts, either whether it was just clinging on and surviving, whether it was fighting back like in the Warsaw Ghetto. The notion that we all just went sheep to the slaughter without a fight is historically inaccurate. But what truly moved me was the spiritual bravery and courage that was shown. Smuggling in tefillin and Jewish prayer books and matzah for Passover into the camps. The commitment people had to their faith, where they wouldn't compromise on certain things, even if it meant certain death. And there was a kind of a sense in my mind that, that was then. But, our generation, obviously, we can even begin to attempt to show that kind of level of bravery, particularly with the comforts of modern life. Well, I'm here today to tell you in this video that I was wrong. The bravery that we have seen from, first of all, our soldiers in Israel, but also the hostages, and not just their physical strength and persistence, but also their spiritual bravery. Despite being in the Hamas dungeons, has completely blown me away. And I wanted to touch on 5 short examples of this, of Jewish people clinging to their values and their faith. It is not something of the past. It is very, very present. Omer Shem Tov, a hostage who made Kiddush on half a bottle of grape juice. And it lasted 5 months, presumably because he would only have just a tiny sip each week on Shabbat. Then there's Elia Cohen, who made Kiddush every week, which is the sanctifying of the Sabbath, which you're meant to do with a glass of wine, but he did it with a cup of water. Can you imagine that? Imagine every single week. If you're a hostage, you would expect someone to feel very angry with God. But to lean into their service of God, to lean into their Jewishness at that time, when you're a hostage, when everything feels lost, it's incredible. Agam Berger, who is of course famous for being pulled up onto the Hamas podium and paraded around, she refused to work on Shabbat when she was a hostage. And it was noted in this report I was reading that it's notable that she merited to be one of the few hostages that was not released on Shabbat, on the Sabbath, on Shabbos. Then there's Daniela Gilboa. She taught herself every Friday night to sing Shalom Aleichem, the song we sing to welcome the Shabbos angels into our home on Friday night, but she did it in Arabic. She learned how to sing it in Arabic so as not to provoke the people, the Arab captors. And then there's Keith Siegel, who started to make the blessing on bread and say the Shema every single day. On the first Shabbos after he came out of Gaza, he asked for a kippah and a cup of wine to make Kiddush. It's really remarkable to me that the Jewish spirit is unshakable. That even among those who may not seem to be the most religious or practicing, you just scratch a tiny bit beneath the surface, and what do you find is an unshakable, unwavering commitment to our Jewishness. People talk about after the Holocaust, and they say, the survivors, some stayed religious, some didn't, some leaned into their Jewishness, others people, led more secular lives. But one pretty much common theme throughout most, if not all, the survivors I've seen in the Holocaust is that none of them resent their Jewishness. you would expect for so much suffering simply because of the fact that you are a Jew. And they don't resent it. They're proud of it. And the same is true now. This is something that we should not normalize and think, yeah, well, what do you expect? No, not what do you expect. The commitment these Jews of old and of present have shown to their Jewishness, to their God, is humbling. And it should give all of us a great deal of encouragement that this generation, just like days of old, is seeing giants, it's seeing lions. And it should give us a huge amount of encouragement, because that means that the future for the Jewish people is very bright indeed. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.